Fur Coat Frank. I worked with this guy named Frank, and we eventually became friends. And I nicknamed him Fur Coat Frank, although he wasn't fond of that nickname in the beginning. He kind of likes it now. But I wrote the story and I changed it to Fur Coat Felix because I thought he would be upset. And so I called him up and I said, "Oh, don't worry, Frank, I changed it to Fur Coat Felix." He said, "What? You can't do that. I like Fur Coat Frank. Leave it the way it was." I said, "Okay." So here's the story, Fur Coat Frank. Somewhere around the turn of the century, I was working a regular assignment between Seattle and Portland when I was assigned a new assistant conductor. His name was Frank, and other than being on his cell phone a little too much, he was great help. I'm very observant and began to suspect him of being gay. Fine by me, it just meant that all the women were mine. However, I could tell that Frank did not want me or any of his co-workers to know that he was gay. He was in the closet, as they say. Well, one day Frank had his boyfriend on a train as a passenger and made great efforts in keeping him incognito, buried in the back of the train among the passengers. However, he stuck out like a sore thumb because of the fur coat that he was wearing, and Frank could not stay away from him. I was still in my chalking days, meaning I used to chalk people's nicknames on the cement structures around the property. Well, I started chalking up the property with Fur Coat Frank for a couple of weeks. One day he had enough and he strongly suspected that I was the chalker. So Frank confronted me on the platform at King Street Station in Seattle while we were getting ready to depart, complaining about all the chalking on the property. Now people are calling me Fur Coat Frank. I don't even own a fur coat. That's correct, I said, pointing at him, but your boyfriend does.